So before I start this video, all the games I'm showing is real. They're complete with the booklet, the card, and the case. As for posters, I'm not too sure. I don't remember, but I know my mentality back then for collecting games was I just want it complete. I would not care less if it brings the poster or not. And if it did bring the poster, okay, that's cool. But overall, I just want the booklet, the card, and the complete case for it. Now, a lot of these games, the condition varies from okay to very, very minty as fuck. Okay? The type of collector I am, I just collect for the sake of games that I enjoy, games that I love, games that I grew up loving. Childhood memories, sentimental value, all that good stuff. I just collect games for the sake of just collecting stuff that I enjoy. I don't collect the sake of just collecting shit. I'm not that type of collector. I don't collect to complete the library of whatever console. That's not the type of collector that I am. I've been collecting since the early 2000s, 2002, 2003. A lot of these games I had when I was a dumb little fat fuck who traded these games for newer games, which obviously every time I think about it, I'm always very regretful of that stupidity. I wish I kept all my games, but that was not the case. Now, before I get to the Genesis and some of the Mega Drive games, by the way, there's a lot of games. I didn't know I had these many games. Obviously, I'm not going to open every single game because they're in a protector case. So, a big thank you to these commenters. People take their time and patience with this shitty garbage channel. I just want to, a big thank you to El Maldado, John Odaz, Andrew Sylvia, Antonia Munez, 100 Yen, Sharp Bodies, Thunder Force 1, Josh the Real Gamer, Capcom 784, Regis Mafom, Emily 814, John Phillips, Mr. Savage, Horror Knight, 1308, Aries, Severe Outcome, Koopa, Diego Garcia, and 360 Shit Scope, or whatever your name is. Thank you guys for taking your time and viewing my videos and dropping comments and so on. I'm just going by pretty much commenters. So if you've been left out, I'm so sorry I hurt your feelings. Now let's get to the slightly heavy hitters. I don't own games that's $500, $600, $700. I don't own Musha. That would have been nice, but I don't own that. But I have the Punisher complete, but without the tattoo. And this is minty as hell, and there's a story behind this. I remember it was eBay back in 2000, early 2000s, 2002, 2003. And he had other games bundled with this, like Outrun 2019 and like a sports game. And he just wanted like $30. And it was so rare to find this game complete, even back then. As of now, I don't know. I don't check. I know it's worth like $200, $300 or whatever. But like I said, I don't have the tattoo. And the story behind this was he had it bundled up. And I said I had to jump on this. Even though I don't want these other two games, but screw it. For $30, like $10 shipping or whatever, I jumped on it. And ever since then, I'll never forget that. And I'm actually quite surprised. It just has skyrocketed. It's so expensive. But that's a great story. And I absolutely love this game. Played it in arcades. And it was just a must own on the Genesis. I didn't grow up as a kid owning this game. I know my brother had this game. And I used to watch him play. He would never let me play the games. Because he's an asshole. So let's go to Midnight Resistance. My brother... I just said he's an asshole, but he did give me this for free. And this is pretty fresh, pretty minty. Midnight Resistance, a very, very good game. We got the RoboCop versus the Terminator. This is actually a quite good, very violent shoot action game. Clearly, you're just blasting shit right up. Sonic 3. Sonic 3 is my all-time favorite game of all time. Sonic 3, I just love Sonic 3. This is not my favorite game on the Genesis, but just favorite of all time. Now we got all the Streets of Rage, Streets of Rage 3, Streets of Rage 1, and oh, there we go. And Streets of Rage 2. So we all got all the Streets of Rage, baby. If you're a Sega Genesis collector, obviously all three are a must own for your Genesis collection. We got Buster Douglas Knockout. Gotta have a boxing game. I think that's the only boxing game I actually own. Now there's a story behind this. I'm gonna get shit for this. I also have two. I'm gonna get shit for this. I was never a fan of Golden Axe. I never liked Golden Axe. You're probably saying, wow, you're not a Sega fanboy. I just never really enjoyed it ever in my life. I did enjoy the arcade. The arcade version is fantastic. I love the arcade version. That I could play all day, but these Genesis ones, not so much. Just not a big fan of it, and no, I don't own 3. And they really want a lot for 3 now. I thought about, alright, let me complete it. Even though I'm not a big fan, a big Golden Axe fan, let me complete it. And I saw it, and I was like, you know what? It's not worth it. Now we got Contra in the cardboard box. We got a Contra here. That's actually pretty minty. I believe I had the clamshell. I probably most have did a trade with my brother for this one because it was in better condition. I could be wrong. I swear to God, I thought I owned the clamshell version as well, but I don't. I just have the cardboard. Now this, I have the clamshell and the cardboard. I have Castlevania Bloodlines. I have both of them. And that was a must-have back in the day. This was on my top of the list to grab. I really don't remember too much of the story of, how much I paid for. I don't remember too much, but this was a must-have. This was definitely something that I needed to have in my collection. Castlevania Bloodlines is a must for Genesis collectors. We got Gunstar Heroes. No introduction for that. We got Dinosaurs for Hire. I never read the comic books, but I did always enjoy the game. It's a Contra type game. And it's not a bad game at all, and the graphics are very nice. So there you go. Now, I gotta have all the Outrun games, and this is the only Sega Master System game I own. I'm not a Sega Master System guy. I'm sorry, more of a Genesis fanboy, but I had to complete it so I could complete the other Outrun games. So I got the Sega Master here. We got Turbo Outrun. We got the original Outrun and Outrunners, and I have 2019 somewhere out there. I'm not too sure. So there we go. Let's grab some shit off the floor. Right here, this is a fantastic action game. I started playing this, fell in love, and I had to get this. This is a great Sega Genesis game. Pretty rare now. No poster, none of that stuff. Just the cart, the manual, and all that stuff. Now we got Twin Cobra, a decent shoot 'em up. Now Fighting Masters. I really kind of didn't want this. This is actually not a great fighting game. It's just okay. But I remember playing it as a kid because I was always, I just loved monsters. Anything with Godzilla and the Universal monsters and all that stuff. So I actually enjoyed it as a kid, not so much now. But it was just more of a childhood memory type thing. And yeah, this condition is pretty rough, but whatever. Paid very cheap for it. Ren and Stimpy, all the Nickelodeon stuff, man. That brings a lot of childhood memories. I grew up on this in the 90s. Ren and Stimpy, Rocko's Modern Life. Rugrats, Doug, Hey Arnold. Hey Arnold was probably like late 90s. All That, Wild and Crazy Kids, Hey Dude. Strider on the Mega Drive though. I don't own the American. Never cared for that ugly American cover. So I went with the Mega Drive. And the Mega Drive version is actually more affordable than the American version. But this is actually... a majority of the Mega Drive Japanese games, the covers were always freaking badass as hell. So, there you go. Taz, I actually have the other Taz as well. Always been a big fan of Taz. I remember in, when I was a kid, what was it, first grade? I dressed up as Taz for Halloween. Good stuff. We got True Lies. The best part of the whole game is when you get on the plane and you just started blasting all the cars and all that shit. That's the greatest part of that whole game. Actually, this game is fake. Even though I don't own any repos, well, I already posted this stuff. This was a Kickstarter game, so whatever. We got Road Blasters. I actually extremely impressed how beautiful this game is. Graphically, this is a very nice game. It's quite repetitive, but I still enjoyed it no matter what. Sunset Riders, definitely a must. Beavis and Butthead, I forgot about MTV. I grew up with Beavis and Butthead and all that stuff on MTV back in the 90s. And you know, it's a decent game. It's not amazing, it's not great, but it is part of my childhood. E-SWAT, very good game. We got Shadow Dancer, Shinobi 3, and Shinobi the Revenge. Excuse me, Revenge of the Shinobi. So I got all three. This is another series that is a must-have for Sega Genesis collectors and owners. We got Batman. Batman Returns. It's just okay. Obviously, you're just better off playing the Super Nintendo version. But I bought this for the sake of just to complete this. I remember I bought this for like $5-10. This was dirt cheap. And all of a sudden, they want like 60, 70 for it. And I'm like, wow, really? And this game, I actually prefer the NES version more. But the soundtrack, the music on this game is just freaking amazing. It's just fantastic. And by the way, when you're collecting these games, right? Just like a jewel case, you know, those big long boxes of the Sega Saturn and the older PlayStation 1 games as well. You know, always leave it flat. Leave it flat where the manual is so the manual doesn't start hanging. And you'll eventually start denting the manual. So lay it like a baby. Lay it down like a baby. Even though, yeah, it's upside down, but lay it like a baby. Take care of your games, okay? Your games are very important. If you're a collector, you know, take care of your games. Put protector cases on it so you can prevent dust and all that stuff, you know? Treat it like it's your baby, okay? Just lay it like a baby, okay? There you go. Philios. Now, I really want to get the Mega Drive version because I just love the cover of this game from the Mega Drive. And this was, I remember I used to watch my brother play this all the time when I was a kid. He used to love this game. And this was definitely a must-own for me. And Philios is a great shoot-'em-up, a classic. And one of the best on the Genesis, in my opinion. It's just a lot of childhood memory right there. Rocket Knight Adventures. I actually prefer this over Sparkster. I just never really cared too much for Sparkster. I actually like this and enjoyed this more over Sparkster. Wow, it's gonna offend a lot of people. Now we got Jungle Strike. We got Dynamite Duke. It was actually quite difficult to find this complete on the Genesis, but it doesn't matter because it got Dolph Lundgren on the cover for the Mega Drive version. So I'd rather just have the Mega Drive version over the American one. Well, the American one is kind of looked like Jesse Ventura, the Navy SEAL. But I actually prefer Dolph Lundgren over Jesse Ventura, I'm sorry. Now we got Maximum Carnage. That's a must. Told you another Taz game here. Alien Storm. That's another game that every collector should have in their collection for the Genesis. Alien Storm is awesome on the Sega Genesis. Very enjoyable on the Sega Genesis. Very enjoyable the arcade version as well. We got Jurassic Park. Right here, this is the Outrun 2019 that was bundled with the Punisher. Crazy thing is, I remember throwing away that sports game. I don't remember what it was. It was hockey, Madden, or whatever. I said, you know what? I don't want this. I wanted Punisher. Bloop. It goes in the garbage. I actually thought about giving this away when this did come in the mail. But I said, you know what? I'll keep it. And glad I kept it because that would complete the other Outrun games on the Mega Drive and Sega Genesis. You got the Global Gladiators. My brother gave me this for free. I actually never played this game. I just took it for the sake of just to have it. But it seems like pretty much a little action shooter here. But I don't know. I'll play someday. Lion King. I remember playing this a lot when I was a kid because I was a big fan of the film when I was a little kid. So Lion King was a must. This is Seal. This is another game I got for free from my brother. He just gave it to me. I said, oh, okay, screw it. Subterranea. To shoot 'em up. Never played it either, but I kept the Seal. I said, screw it, why not? Aladdin, obviously. Gotta have Aladdin. A lot of people like the Super Nintendo version more, but I actually like this more. This is more, I felt like this was more straight up action than the Super Nintendo version. Street Fighter 2 Champions Edition. We got ourselves the last action hero. This is actually a very underrated film. I actually enjoyed this film a lot. Well, are you a farmer? Here's a couple of acres. A great scene. Rolling Thunder 2, Japanese, Mega Drive. Never cared for the American because the American cover is ugly. So I wanted, this is just a better cover in my opinion. Like I said, a lot of those American covers are fugly as hell. We got Space Harrier 2. Captain America. I'm a big Marvel fan. I love anything that's Marvel. So Captain America and the Avengers is a must. I used to play the shit out of this. I think I used to rent this at Blockbuster and just play the hell out of it. And it's slightly a bit difficult to beat them up. I would get my ass whooped in this one. But it's just so cool. Look at that cover, man. That cover's awesome. General Chaos. I remember I was in New Jersey when I was a kid. My father bought this for me. I went to Toys R Us. I think it was like $10 or whatever. I said, you know what, this game, I like the cover. The cover's pretty cool. And when I actually played the game, it is a fantastic strategy, tactics type game. It is just totally awesome. I used to put so many hours playing this. This is a great, great game. They need to bring this back, in my opinion. You got Mercs. Mercs is a must. I love Mercs. As a kid until this day, it is fantastic. I think this is the only sports game I own actually. The Bulls versus Blazers. The only reason why I own this because that was actually a pretty good series. And on top of that, I'm a big MJ fan. I love Michael Jordan, so I paid really cheap for that one. Got Shakan. I used to play this like crazy when I was a kid. It was actually pretty solid action platformer. Lightning Force and Thunder Force 2. I do not own 3. I regret not buying 3 back in the day, back in the early 2000s. I think it was like $40, $50. To me, that was a lot of money. I said, that's too much money for that. And now when you see it on eBay, you're like, holy shit. Now I regret not getting it back in the day. Now they want a fortune for it. They want double of what it was back then. You got MK2. I don't own the whole series. I don't own 1 or whatever. I just like 2 the most, even though I'm not the biggest MK fan. King of Monsters 2. Blisters all over my fingers. It's just mashing on that controller will give you blisters. That's one thing I'll never forget when playing King of Monsters, even the first one. It's just blisters on your thumb. Toe Jam and Earl, Panic on Funkotron. Yeah, I had the first one. I love the first one. I had it when I was a kid, and I used to play hours of it. Apparently, I don't own it. Now they want a pretty penny for it. I just don't see myself spending that much money on it. I believe it should be worth like 30, not 60 or whatever. But I remember. And I also played this a lot when I was as a child as well. This one has phenomenal graphics. It was such an upgrade over the first one when it came to graphics, but I prefer the first one gameplay wise. Ninja Turtles is a must. This is a great beat 'em up. Everyone loves the Super Nintendo version, but I actually like this a lot. What do I prefer? It's hard to tell, but because I'm a Sega fanboy, I think I will go with Hyperstone. Gunfights, don't care for that too much. Now you got the Royal Rumble. Grab the dude by the neck. That's the only thing I remember about that game. Still a good wrestling game though, right? Mystic Defender. Got 2, both the X-Men games. Like I said, big Marvel fan. I used to love X-Men when I was a kid. And 2, I remember 2 because I got it when it first came out. And that was a big deal because graphically and everything about it was pretty damn cool. The only thing that was pretty disappointing was when you get towards the end of the game. I just was not too much of a big fan of it. Ghosts and Goblins. Super Thunderblade. Man, I suck ass in Thunderblade. I'm absolute shits in that game. Now, World of Illusion, I actually prefer this more than Castle of Illusion. I just never really cared too much for Castle, but World of Illusion is a great game, and I highly recommend for you guys to pick this up if you have a a friend over or whatever. This is a great co-op game. Definitely have this in your collection. We got a Spider-Man. We got two of the Road Rash. Now, when it comes to Road Rash, I didn't care about the races or whatever. I didn't care about winning #1. All I cared about was getting off the motorcycle and beating the shit out of the cow. I just wanted to grab my chain and just hit it. Just beat the shit out of that cow. I just wanted to beat the shit out of the cow. I didn't care about being #1. I just wanted to beat the shit out of the cow and just plow my motorcycle through the cow. I used to always do that as a kid. I don't. It was hilarious. Just thinking about it makes me laugh. You got Fire Mustang, Mega Drive. You got Magic Sword, Saint Sword. Excuse me, Saint Sword. Now getting towards the end. That's it. Almost done. Obviously, I got all the Sonics. I forgot to mention that on when I showed Sonic 3, Sonic 2, Sonic 1, Sonic and Knuckles. Pretty a bit rough. What's the cardboard version, but still very nice. I think that only came out in cardboard anyway. I remember this one because I got it when it first came out when I was a kid. And just hooking it up with 3, oh boy, that shit was great. And lastly, Wasteland Saga 2. So there you go. These are all my Sega Genesis game, Mega Drive games. Not a lot of crazy heavy hitters, but these are all my games, and I'm very proud and happy to own all of them. Obviously, you always want more games. There's certain games that you love to have, like Battle Mania 2, which is not going to happen. Maybe in the future. Well, it doesn't matter. You keep waiting. It'll probably be like 2000 by then anyway. There's a few more games that I want, like Thunder Force 3. I would love to complete, but whatever. It is what it is. But that's my collection right there. I hope you enjoyed this video. Drop your comments. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs down. If you don't like the video, so be it. That's your opinion, bro. But I think this video was pretty damn good. So appreciate your time, your patience. You guys have a great day. The weekend is coming up. Enjoy your weekend as well. Next week, expect some shakedown gameplay videos on the PS4 and Yakuza 2 on the PC. Oh, look at that. I'm such a busy man, aren't I? All right. Bye-bye.